Hello guys, Bud here with Dependable Lawn Care, and I am getting ready to paint the walls in the trailer. So this trailer is going to be a little bit different with the side door actually being a ramp, so I won't be painting that. That'll get painted with the floor paint when I get to that. So I'll just be painting this wall, and then of course this wall. I'm not going to paint the metal in the B-nose, and then over here to this, so just this side. So it's actually not a whole lot of wall to paint. The hardest part will just be because you've got these trim pieces that overlap the sheets of plywood. Take a little bit of cutting in around those, but let me show you. I'm not going to video the whole painting the whole thing. Don't want to bore you to death. So what I'm going to do is just show you this in stages. First stage is that I have my Kills all-purpose interior exterior primer. So I'll be using that. It's just a base white primer. I have my roller with a 3/8 snap cover on it, a 2.5 inch paintbrush to do my cutting in. I've got my handy paint tray that's got the liners. I really like these things. If you guys haven't tried those, they're pretty cool. I mean, I don't do a lot of painting. I hate painting. So when I do it, I want something that's quick and efficient because I want to be able to get this crap done. It's got a magnet on it right here. It works okay, for the brushes. If you set the brush in there gently, it works pretty good. It's just that if you've got a lot of paint in the tray, obviously you're going to get a lot of paint in your brush. The only downside to that. I've got a blade, which is just a cutting blade. And if you don't know what this is, like say for instance, I'm painting along the floor, I can lay that blade in place, paint down to the blade, and it keeps me from getting paint all over the floor. And it works well along the ceiling and stuff too. So I've got my blade out for that. And then I've got my little handy paint tray, little guy with the liners. I need to just have one liner in there. And then I call this a weenie roller. I don't really know what it is. It's just a 3-inch by 1-inch roller. And it's a real short nap, but that's really good for cutting in as well. Little tight areas. I don't even know if I'll need that, but I just wanted to have it out here and ready in case I do. It might actually work really well for painting these strips, but anyway, that's what I'm working with. So I'm gonna get my paint stirred up and fill up my paint tray and go to it. I think I'm just gonna start back here on this back end and work my way into the trailer. Okay guys, for reference, now this is just the primer, but it took 1.5 gallons of primer, and I primed everything except for the doors. Okay, so since this has a ramp door, when I eventually treat the floor, I'll treat both ramps the same, so I didn't paint the door. But 1.5 gallons of primer, and it soaked it up pretty good. I mean, you can kind of see where the wall is bleeding through the primer a little bit, but it's fine. That's what primer's for, kind of take up that initial soak up. So it's all primed. I primed right down to the floor, and when I do my floor treatment, whatever I decide to do, I'll probably come up maybe about as high as the fenders. Don't know, but I did tape off the fenders just because it makes that a little bit easier to work around, and I taped off up here around the itty bitty light. 1.5 gallons of primer, and about 2 hours it took me to do it. Now that's me, somebody that's a better painter than me, faster, you might do it in half that time. But that's how long it took me. So what I'm going to do now, while I'm waiting for that primer to dry so that I can paint, I'm going to go ahead and pull the mowers in and kind of get everything situated the way I want it, and see what kind of space I have, and that'll help me kind of figure out where I want to go with certain racks. So let's do that. Not really sure exactly how I want the FW15 yet, but probably about like that. Just depends on my shelf. I want to be able to make sure I have access to my shelf. So anyway, it's good enough for right now. Let's get the Z3s in here. Right. They haven't been inside of a trailer in like 2 months. So I've got a buttload of room. Really got to figure out my situation with the FW15 because that'll make a big difference on space. And the way that turns, see, what I want to make this make sense is I want to be able to take the FW15 out, or the Z3s, without having to move anything else. So basically I don't want to have to move the Z3s to take this out. So I don't want to have this where it's stuck or trapped in here in case I just need it, because there are some places where I just need it. So obviously I'm burning up a lot of space right there, and I don't necessarily need to do that. So I'll have to figure out positioning. But I've got plenty of space between these two, as far as between the tire and the mower in front. If I had the bagger on this and the bagger on this, I still think I could get both of them in here. So, because this sprayer setup takes up almost as much space as the bagger. Might take up about 12 more inches. But man, I'm not gonna know what to do with so much space, guys. So looks like I'll be able to set it up pretty much like I had my last trailer, with my backpack blowers over here. Probably won't put the handheld blower in here. We're thinking about just solely using the backpack blowers and leaving the handheld out of the setup. We'll see about that as the season gets started. Obviously probably have the trimmers over here, so I need to go ahead and measure out where they're gonna sit, the racks anyways, to see if I need to run 1x to support those. I may not have to. With this having 1/2-inch plywood and 16-inch studs, may not even have to do that. But man, guys, this is gonna be nice. I gotta build a shelf up here still, so probably do one shelf, about waist high like I had in my other trailer, and then I might do another one about midway between it and the ceiling, somewhere up in here, halfway between this one and the ceiling. Another shelf, maybe not as deep, but just to give me some space to kind of organize things better and all that. Hand tools, I'll probably go ahead and put there like I had before. And if I move this over just a little bit more, then I can walk right through here to get to the hand tools. Either that or maybe on the wall here. So I've got some things to figure out, and not a lot of time to do it because mowing starts in about 5 days. So that's why I'm frantically trying to get this thing painted and set up, and why I don't have time to do the floor, because time's not on my side. This thing was about 3 weeks late getting to me, the trailer, and it's not necessarily the factory's fault. As you guys know, there's just so much going on right now with the COVID-19, and I think the factory that builds these had to split their shifts up, to get enough distancing between the employees at the factory. I think they split into 2 shifts. Anyway, there's stuff going on there. You know, everything is being affected. Another thing that I found out this morning is my carport that's supposed to go over here, my 20 by 26 that I ordered, is actually supposed to be delivered 5 days from now. And I got a call saying that that's not going to be coming because of the COVID-19 outbreaks in Missouri. They don't want to send their crews to Missouri. And, you know, I don't blame them. You know, just about any direction you go in Missouri right now, there's a case, you know, a positive test. So, and every day we find out that there are more and more. So, you know, it's going to be here before we know it. And I don't blame them for not wanting to come here right now. So that's on hold for the foreseeable future. But in the meantime, at least I got my trailer. You know, I was starting to wonder if I was even going to get this. So I got it. Thankful for that. And I'm going to sign off for now, guys. The trailer's primed. The next step is the paint. And you guys will see that when I start doing my installs on my equipment. And of course, I'll do a video when I do the shelving and everything. Take you guys along with me on that. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Get out there and make some money. Stay safe. We'll see you on the next one.